Yo, and welcome back to the Banter Boys podcast. My name is Sanji. With me is Ryan. How are you doing, boy?
Welcome. I'm doing good, man. It's the international break, so we did just that.
You did the exact same intro as last time.
I know, right?
So this is the second time we're recording. We got a data dump. We had technical difficulties, and now we have to fucking start over. I don't want to do any of that fucking jokes and all that fucking life stories and this and that. I just want to jump straight into the pod. Like,
Yeah.
I'm tired now.
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay, let me just do quick spiels and then we'll jump into it. Okay, so welcome to our regular pod. We are Banter Boys. We are default fan tracks pod. So typically we usually have a Sunday waiver pod, which is part of our Patreon service. You pay like $1 a month. You get access to our waiver pods, any extra inside tracks content, any sort of articles that we've been putting out. I think like our mods have started an article, like a buy low article. I need to kind of review that and put that out. And then on Tuesdays we typically do our regular pod, which is the free version. So basically what this version is going to be like, right? So we have two halves. The first half you do a bit of a data dump, then we where we basically discuss the default scoring categories of the previous scoring game week. But because we're in an international break, I'm also going to include a few of the numbers between the current international break and the previous one. So basically game week 4 to game week 7. Yeah, so we're just going to chat some numbers, see what we can kind of pick out of there. And then we jump into our league updates. So we kind of see how we're doing in our leagues. If we need advice from each other, what changes we kind of want to make. Maybe some assets that we're kind of eyeing up as waiver picks or FA picks. Then we take our halftime pint. And then in the second half of the pod, we catch up with our Discord. So basically we answer questions from, loyal fans, listeners, all that sort of jazz as part of our Discord server, because no one hangs out in Twitter anymore. So we don't get any questions there. And usually that's how the default pod is. But again, because we've not done a Sunday waiver pod, as soon as like Game Week 7 ended, we're going to chuck that into this regular pod. I guess, it's free. So, congratulations. But if you want future waiver info or future waiver discussions, you're probably going to have to sign up for our waiver. You're probably going to have to sign up for our Patreon thingy. Oh my God, I'm tired. I've done this like multiple times now, a second time now, and I really don't want to do it again. All right, Ross, can you please do social plugs right here?
Yeah, for sure. So you can message us on Twitter and Instagram. Our handles at BanterB. On Discord in the Draft PL channel, Banter Boys #6585. On Reddit, /Banter_boys. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, and YouTube, all under the name of Banter Boys.
Okay, so hopefully you've listened to Ross. If you're listening to us on Spotify, if you don't mind taking a quick second, go onto our homepage. If you don't mind giving us a 5-star rating, we'd really, really appreciate it. I think only like a quarter or a third of you guys that actually listen to us or follow us on Spotify have actually rated the pod. So, if you don't mind trying to get that closer to 50%, I think that would be a great milestone to get to, at least before, the halfway point of the season. And if you're listening to us on YouTube, if you don't mind hitting the subscribe button, the follow button, the thumbs up button on the video that you're listening to right now, basically a like, it just helps all the algorithms, helps spread the word about, what a great fan tracks pod we are, this and that, or, how much shit we like to chat and, how much we entertain you and all that sort of jazz. All right. Can we just jump straight into fucking content?
Yes, let's go.
Ay. Fantasy with the Banter Boys.
All right. So we're gonna kick things off with our data dump. So we're looking back at game week 7. The highest number of key passes was 7 by Saka, 6 by Damsgaard, Cole Palmer, and Bernardo Silva. And then 5 key passes by Bowen and Gakpo. Thoughts, Ryan?
It annoys me to see Gakpo on here as a Diaz owner,
because
I guess.
you own Luis Diaz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the rest are pretty standard. I mean, we know they have it in their locker at least.
Saka versus Southampton makes sense. Damsgaard versus Wolves makes sense. Palmer is just the heartbeat of the team. Makes sense. Bilva, I mean, they need someone to pull strings while KDB's crocked. And I think he was... I mean, wasn't this like Foden's first start as well, I think, in the league?
Yeah, I think so.
So I was a little surprised that Foden make this list. But Bowen against promoted team makes sense, and Gakpo versus Crystal Palace, who are playing absolute garbage right now. They're just not the team that we hoped they would be. Munoz got injured that game as well, remember?
He did.
Right? So, yeah, I mean, in that sense, no real surprises. But yeah, Gakpo fucking smashed it that game, bro.
Yeah, he did.
Are you going to try and get Gakpo now?
I'll probably ride it out with Luis Diaz.
You know Gakpo's going to slowly get minutes, so.
That's fine. That's okay.
Festive period.
That's okay.
Who are your other forwards with your Luis Diaz's teams?
Oh, it's horrible. I think it's like Jimenez and I want to say Delap, which...
Why don't you do Jimenez for Gakpo?
Oh, and the last one is Minta.
Again, why don't you do Jimenez for Gakpo?
I'll try it. I'll try it out right now.
Yeah, try it out. I think it's best you just get that left-hand spot of Liverpool.
Yeah, agreed.
Lock it off. You're set for the season.
I just don't think I'll get it.
No, probably not after the back of a smashing performance. But I'd also say resend the trade when Gakpo's benched in Game Week 8 or Game Week 9.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Game Week 4 to Game Week 7 key passes. So the highest number was 19 by Saka and then 14 by Leif Davis and Kulusevski. Thoughts, Ryan?
So Saka is no surprise at all. Leaf and Kulu, though, I didn't realize were being that consistent. Good to see them there.
Yeah. I mean, Leaf was the player we all hoped he would be, the Doherty 2.0. I mean, yeah, he's kind of showing shades of it. I don't know if he's as good as Doherty. But it helps when, you're on set pieces and you're pretty much like the main outlet for an attack of a team. And the Kulu one, I think he kind of just grew into the role, didn't he?
Yeah, it seems so.
Right?
And he's had to take this creative role more than...
He's kind of sharing it with Maddison, in a sense.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay, let's look at shots and how many on target next. Then in Game Week 7, the highest number of shots attempted was 7 by a few players. Kai Havertz with 2 of his 7 on target. Madueke with 2 of his 7 on target. Saka with 2 of his 7 on target. And then 6 shots attempted by Cole Palmer. He had 2 of them on target. And then 5 shots attempted by a few players as well. Bowen had 3 of his 5 on target. Raul Jimenez with 0 of his 5 on target. Kudus with 4 of his 5 on target, and Mateus Cunha with 1 of his 5 on target. Thoughts, Ryan?
Yeah, so the teams that are represented here aren't too surprising, but you do see some pairs.
Yeah, I think these are pairs that we're gonna see a lot throughout the season. In terms of goals, assists, combinations. I mean, we saw it in the Wolves game, right? With the Madueke Palmer combo. Palmer basically assisted the Madueke hat trick.
Right. I guess for me, it's like Palmer can pair up with others as well. Like it could be Palmer Jackson one day, it could be Palmer Madueke another day. Whereas I guess if you think of Arsenal, it's probably going to be Kai Saka.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Odegaard's not there.
Right, that's why.
Right.
And well, Martinelli got benched, right? So
Yeah, it was weird to see Martinelli bench, but I guess it's easier to rotate against Southampton as well.
Fair.
Right? What was it? Sterling started, Gabriel Jesus started, and I think managers that punted on Sterling got burnt badly.
Yeah, and we tried. Luckily, it did not work out.
Yeah, thank God. Oh, yeah. It's good to be lazy once in a while. Just say
I
it
know, right?
pays off.
Good to see.
This is why we tell people, like, sorry?
No, go for it. Go for it.
So I was gonna say, this is why we tell people, like, when you're scrambling for FA grabs or whatever during the game week on like a Saturday, don't stress. Like, you can't access your waiver pool as quickly as possible. Sure, you might miss out on one asset or two, but sometimes it's a blessing in disguise if you miss out on people that players that people are scrambling for, like your Sterlings or your Jesuses. And as tempting as it is, yeah, it could absolutely backfire. But yeah, you were saying something about Kudus?
Yeah, it's so good to see Kudus back on his list, getting returns though, because he started the season so poorly.
Yeah.
I guess this is kind of where you would have expected him to be, right?
Yeah. It's good to see him like playing games, finishing matches, playing
True.
more than a half, like
True.
not Lopetegui being Lopetegui or whatever. I'd say the only surprising bit is Raul Jimenez on this list because we had the doubt coming up against City, etc. But maybe it's a Rodri factor that we need to consider. And I mean, we kind of touched on Fulham just being a good team this season.
Yeah, their attack looks like they're clicking, and we probably should be trusting them more than we are.
Yeah. And I mean, unless they're missing like an Iwobi or an Andreas Pereira, I think we just roll them out and trust them.
Yeah, for sure.
So game week 4 to game week 7, the highest number of shots were 21 by Haaland, no surprise, 13 of them on target, 17 by Kai Havertz, 7 of them on target, and then 16 shots attempted in this time period by Brennan Johnson with 5 on target. Thoughts, Ryan?
So the first two, they don't surprise me. I mean, Haaland is a freak. Kai makes sense.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
BJ is seriously on fire right now.
Yeah, it's insane.
You were saying he scored again in his international break game?
Yeah, 7-7 now.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem is he's not ghosting, right? He's very much in a purple patch. If you look at like the ghost points from like a Spurs player perspective, I think Vicario is averaging more ghost points than he is, which is fucked up.
Yes, that's not what you want from your assets at all. But I mean, I'll enjoy the purple patch when it's coming.
Yeah, most definitely.
Do you try to sell high?
It's tempting. I'm getting offers in my inbox for it, but I think the latest offer somebody sent me Rashford for Brennan Johnson. I'm not doing that.
No, yeah, fair enough.
No, that's just insulting. Come on now. Okay, so let's next look at accurate crosses into the box. So the highest number in game week 7 was 2 by a long list of players. Reinhard Nuri, Cook, Foden, Janelt, KLP, which is Keenless Potter, Pedro Neto. He got like 2 of them in 1 minute. I'm assuming it's 1 minute because he came on as a late sub and it doesn't include extra time in the data in Fantrax. Mitoma also 2 accurate crosses, Njai and Anthony Robinson. Anything you want to pick out of this?
Nothing really.
Yeah.
I guess if it were 3, I'd probably talk a bit more about that player, but nothing here.
Yeah. There was a question that came into our Discord about whether or not people should be trying to buy Pedro Neto low. And I think this was coming from a manager that owns Madueke as well. I think this is like a similar dilemma to your Gakpo, Luis Diaz one, right? How do you feel about this? Especially, we're talking about teams that will score goals. Their assets will get assists, get lots of Fantrax points, that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, how do you feel about this?
I find it harder to carry Neto than it is to carry Gakpo. Like, I know Gakpo will get minutes. I know. Yeah. But I don't know when or if Neto will. Because it's not just Neto competing for that spot, I would say.
There's more cooks in that kitchen.
Way too many, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
As an only owner in one league, I am worried about his minutes, though. I can see him getting rotated, especially during the busy period, but I don't know if I'm going to handcuff him with Neto. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Yeah, I don't know what else to pull from this. I think everyone else is fine. Like Janels is probably the only weird
Strange.
standout one
Yeah.
because he doesn't really play on a side, on a wing sort of thing. He's more like a central player. But yeah.
Yep.
Game week 4 to game week 7, the highest number of accurate crosses was 6 by Gordon, Porro, and Anthony Robinson. Thoughts?
Just all assets I want to own, pretty much.
Yeah. And no surprises that they come from, wide players in that sense, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's look at some extra categories. So for game week 7, tackles 1, the highest number was 4. Oh my god, there's so many players here. Is that the Borges guy that you wanted to take a punt on from Wolves?
Yep, that's him.
Okay, so he's there, Lucadinia's there, Johnny Evans is there, man of the match from that random ass fucking United game where there was a 0-0 between Villa and United. Fucking hell, Evans of all people. Garner, I think he played right back that game, so it kind of makes sense. Ben Johnson's there, Ndidi's there, Emerson's there, Partey's there. Let's do it like category by category. So then if you look at game week 4 to game week 7, the highest number of tackles won was 16 by Ndidi. Thoughts on these tackle numbers? Anything to pick out?
I mean, Borges or Forbes or whatever they want to call him is a forward. That's odd. We've seen it with Fatwu earlier on in the season. It's good when forwards have those avenues to points, but it's definitely not where I was expecting his points to come from. The rest, I guess, are pretty standard kind of.
Yeah, I would say so. Your boy Ndidi, though.
Jesus. Good Lord. Can he stop?
Nope, he won't. Dispossessions. Highest number in game week 7 was 6 of them by Hutchinson and Mavididi. And if you look at the time frame between game week 4 to game week 7, highest number of dispossessions was 14 by the same guys, Hutchinson and Mavididi.
Consistent.
Yeah, consistency. You love to see it, right? Interceptions in game week 7, there was a high of 3 by, again, a list of players. Baleba, Bruno Fernandes, Calafiori, Colwell, Gakpo, Keane, Virgil van Dijk. And then if you look again from game week 4 to game week 7, the highest number of interceptions was 13 by Lisandro Martinez. Clearances in game week 7, there was a high of 13 by Bednarek. From game week 4 to game week 7, the highest number of clearances accumulated was 31 by Tarkowski. Successful dribbles, there was a high of 5 by Njai in game week 7. And then again, between game week 4 to game week 7, successful dribbles, there was a high of 12 by Hutchinson, Kudus, Njai, and Sancho. Aerials in game week 7, there was a high of 8 by Virgil van Dijk. Between game week 4 and game week 7, there was a high of 21 aerials by Kai Havertz. And then in game week 7, finally, block shots. There was a high of 4 by Basse, the Fulham defender. And then from game week 4 to game week 7, there were 11 block shots by Wout Fass or Face or whatever. Any thoughts on all the shit that we just kind of rattled off for listeners?
Sancho is surprisingly doing well. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
why?
Sure if
he's a good player.
He always was.
Yeah.
I guess we've just grown accustomed to what he became at United.
Yeah.
But I guess if you check minutes, I'm expecting Njai and Hutchinson to have way more minutes than Kudus and Sancho. So kind of highlights their value in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Njai
has really stepped up as an asset, by the way.
He has. Which annoys me because I could have gotten him in a few leagues early on. And then the time he finally returned, it was too late.
Yeah.
I think the rest aren't abnormal, like pretty standard-ish.
Your boy Gakpo getting interceptions.
I know, just like Bruno. What are you guys doing there? But more Gakpo, like, why are you on the pitch? Verge had a great game week, but then we just see if you go the 4 weeks long, Kai doing what he does, kind of.
Yeah. Forwards, right? You kind of expect that.
Yeah.
You know who might eventually show up on this area list is Paul Onuachu. Our Southampton rep, Jacob, was kind of hinting that he might be getting some starts. And he is one tall ass player. Yeah. Any guesses as to how tall he is?
6'6".
6'6". Okay, I need to convert meters to feet. But pretty close, 6.59. Good lord, you are accurate today.
Hey, look at that.
I mean, when we recorded the first time around, I made you guess where Brennan Johnson ranked in terms of ghost points of all Spurs players, and you got it dead on 7th best ghoster. That includes goalkeepers, by the way. So, which is
which was shocking.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. That's data dump wrapped up. So now I think let's jump into our league updates. All right, Ryan. Kick things off. How was Game Week 7?
Game Week 7 was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
It was. I feel like I remember it being a good game week to start, and then it quickly tanked.
Yeah.
But I won in IGL, pretty standard for both of us now.
Yeah.
I lost in DPL, pretty standard.
Yeah.
IGL, the goods there. Oh man, the good was so concentrated. Saka smashing it, Noni smashing it, Delap smashing it, Dam smashing it. I guess the rest of my team didn't do too much.
I'm glad that you kept faith in Delap, by the way, because even though he wasn't ghosting, the eye test did bits, and I kind of went with the ghost points of Jack Clark, and the points were still going through Delap. So, yeah. I feel like with that Delap pick, it's like a very maverick, like, experienced fantasy manager pick, you know?
So I didn't hold the fate, though. I actually dropped him, picked him back up.
Oh, you could have sold it that way, you know?
Yeah, true. I had to pay 7 fab on the return, but that's okay. The regrets here, I benched Jimenez and Minta because I didn't think Minta would start. Jimmy was up against City, and I played Caicedo and the guy you spoke of, Borges or Forbes or whatever his name is from Wolves.
Yeah.
Obviously, my bench did better, but given the same situation, I probably would do it again. So,
yeah.
Do I have any concerns here? I guess Bailey is a concern. 1, he's injury prone, but 2, he's just not delivering at the moment.
Yep.
I slightly worry about Dams' minutes once Jensen comes back, which I think isn't too far away.
Yeah.
And Saka is supposedly flagged for injury right now, but we know he never gets injured, so not really concerned.
He got subbed off early in that England match, right?
Yeah.
And then Twitter went up in flames, basically.
Yeah.
But we suspect, like you said, Saka does this every fucking game, limps, and it's fine the next game.
Exactly. What I did in terms of waivers, because waivers did actually clear an IGL early on. Yeah. I dropped Forbes and Kepa. I grabbed Adam Wharton and Kelleher because Alisson's supposed to be
Love the Kelleher pick.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I got him for free and no one else spent or tried.
That's mental.
I think I got him.
I'm assuming Kelleher gets maybe like 2-3 game weeks.
You know what? I might have overspent on Kelleher. I might have spent 5. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, I think 2 to 3 game weeks, I'm happy.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of just sucks that, you know, the Liverpool fixtures are a little tricky, right? Chelsea at home, Arsenal away, Brighton at home, Aston Villa at home. So you're probably getting the hard fixtures with Kells until Alisson is back. But I think we just assume that Liverpool continue to perform like a good defensive unit, regardless of who's in it.
And they're probably going to think, oh, Alisson's out. Let me test Kelleher from far out. He's a good shot stopper.
Yeah, agreed.
So I'm not against... Yeah, tough fixtures, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
DPL, I mean... 12-point loss, 100 versus 112. I think
I hate those.
Yeah, it's like I bench Jimenez again. I benched Trips because I was moving apartments and didn't get it to switch them out in time. So I feel like I could have won. Yeah. But it is what it is. The good there, Damsgaard, Buonanotte, and Solanke, really not that great. I do have a lot of Ross concerns in this team though, because I picked up Jack Clark like you. I picked up Forbes in this league as well. But then I have dead assets like Xerxes and Nkunku on my bench. So I really need to take advantage of this coming waiver window, because Clark and Forbes aren't holds, right? So let me see what value can get for them.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get to my league update as well, and like I do want to touch on Clark slightly, but yeah, I agree. I drop them if I need the win, if I need some better assets.
Correct.
There's a shinier toy in the pool.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
But this has been the pattern all season long now. Win in IGL, loss in DPL. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to keep it going for this week, in a sense, right? I'm no longer giving us my lineup or my FA lock pool league updates. So it's the second DPL league that I'm in. This is the dad's league, I guess. Let's call it that, because I lost again there. I think I'm like 1-6 there. Yeah, I'm. It's way too sad. No more updates from that league, guys. So I'm just gonna stick to like IGL and OG DPL. So IGL, another win, 7-0. I saw one of our questions in Discord about what is one of the most difficult things to achieve or whatever, and we're gonna touch on that later. But somebody said going 38-0 in Fantrax. I'm just saying, I'm getting there. Nothing's impossible. But I feel like I got very lucky in IGL, because I basically was all out on 121 and I was coming up against Dominic Solanke, and I thought it was quite fortunate that Dom only got like an assist in that fixture. I mean, Spurs are shit and they probably should have won after going 2-0 up, but I was shitting bricks, bro. Like, I was like, oh crap, this is not going to end well. So I only won 121 to 115. It was very close. Like, that's a clean sheet away, right?
Yeah.
But the standout performers there, Hermansen and Christensen, Leicester with their first clean sheet. Like, what are the fucking odds?
Yo.
Pinnock with his goal as part of that 5-3 route. Tarkowski. Tarkowski's back, right? He's absolutely back. Even, like, Branthwaite was missing this game, and he still put up mad ghost points, right? Yeah. I think like this is another player that the window is somewhat closed for being able to buy him on a low, right? Same with Njai. Like, the fixtures have turned for Everton. Like, I think you should have bought them a week ago in a sense. And Bowen Agreed. As well. We talked about Bowen showing up in the data dump. He got like, I think, what was it, a goal and an assist in this game. Regrets. So the only regret I had here was deciding between Strand Larson and Clark. And basically, the note that I wrote for myself here was waiver picks are a backup. Like, don't insult your original dependable assets and still play them in that sense, right? I think I was so caught up in this narrative that I kind of wrote myself in the sense that West Ham are shit, Ipswich are, playing okay, Jack Clark will do fine against West Ham. Whereas, Strand Larson also does really well for Wolves. I know Wolves are struggling in that sense, but eye test wise, Strand Larson was doing fine, right? And I don't know if this is a bit hindsighty in the sense because Strand Larson got the goal, Jack Clark didn't. I mean, you look at the ghost points, it's still somewhat similar in that sense. So that's, I think, one thing that I do kind of want to consider moving forward is like, just because I do win a player on waivers doesn't mean that I have to play them in that sense. Also benching Milenkovic in this league. And he, yeah, man, fucking Milenkovic. What a player he has been this season. I know like Forest have had easy fixtures. They've had a couple of clean sheets here and there. But I just feel like he's so dependable as a centre-back, right? And we have been saying that he is a proper goal threat or a threat on set pieces and this and that. And that's kind of where he got his assist, right? From a set piece and just kind of squaring it to Wood to score the goal. Roster concern for this league, James Ward-Prowse and Sugawara. I kind of would like a dependable fourth mid. It's like you talked about dumping James Ward-Prowse. I'm not sure what to do with him. I think managers are only going to be interested in him because of name value.
Yeah. I think he's an easy drop, to be honest. Especially with the red card he has. Because he's suspended, right?
Yeah, he's suspended. But if James Ward-Prowse has a drop, surely Bruno Fernandes is a drop as well, right?
Oh. Yeah. It's so much harder to drop Bruno.
Ollie brought it up in our Dynasty chat, right?
Fair. But, I mean, yeah, okay, I don't know how to defend that one. But I'm happy to be rid of James Ward-Prowse, man. I was just holding on for holding on's sake. I don't think the points are coming. I do think they are coming with Bruno, so that's the main difference for me.
I'm just wondering, if you're in an 8-man league, would you drop Bruno?
Yes, I probably would.
8-man, yeah.
8-man. Nothing more. A 10-man you keep.
Yeah.
12-man you keep for sure.
Yeah. And Sugawara, I think we are both on the same wavelength about giving him this easy fixture, right?
Yeah.
Because he still has sets and that sort of stuff, so we do want to kind of keep an eye on him. And like you said, waivers cleared, so I dropped Christie. I think Bournemouth are playing Arsenal, and I went for a very, I don't know, I was like, let me not overthink this. Leicester versus Southampton, Vardy. I know Vardy doesn't ghost, but I feel like if Leicester are going to score, he could get something, and he's on penalties, and 9-0,
Well, let's see Southampton score, win this game, and it's like, Archer, you should have gone for instead. It'd be so good.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so regular DPL, I won. Oh my god, fucking miracle. Cannot believe it. 119 to 80, but I think I just basically came up against a worse team than me.
Yeah.
So the goods were, I had Pope, I had Justin, I had Keane, I had Damsgaard, I had Brennan Johnson. What were the regrets? I don't think there were any regrets. Yeah, just everything went fine. In terms of concerns, I think my defenders of forwards in this league are just absolute rubbish. So if I were to list out my defenders, like I mentioned a couple just now, James Justin, Michael Keane, and Ola Aina, Daniel Munoz, and Mikolenko. So Keane is dead weight.
Yeah.
James Justin, Leicester defense, he's going to concede. Aina, part of a good defense, but isn't really the best scorer in that back line. Munoz injured, but he didn't go on an international break, so who knows? It's just a strain. He walked off during that game. Mikolenko, I grabbed and kept faith because I just assumed, easy fixture run, Branthwaite comes back, the Everton defense, I want a piece of it.
Okay, interesting one. I think Aina's a drop, by the way, because I did drop.
I think so too, yeah. Then what would you go as your main back three if all of these guys are fit?
Run it through again.
So Mikolenko, Munoz, Keane, Justin, and Aina.
So Munoz for sure.
Yeah.
Justin dependent on the fixture.
Yeah.
I guess Mikolenko should be playable
Keane
once he's
out,
fit.
Right?
Yeah, Keane's out.
Yeah.
Aina's probably also out for me.
Yeah. Forwards in this league, Brennan Johnson, Mavididi, Njai, Jimenez, and Nkunku.
Ooh, that's actually really good. I don't know what to do with Nkunku. I'm holding on still, but my trigger finger is getting itchy, and it's just name value I'm carrying at the moment.
Did you see the goal that he scored in the midweek, the international break?
Oh, yeah. The goal for France? Yeah.
Yeah.
What a goal.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man.
It's so frustrating, man.
Right?
It's so frustrating. He's so good. He's so much better than Nico. It's so obvious.
Every time he plays Europe, or he plays for now that he's playing for France, we're seeing it.
Yeah.
It's just annoying. Surely he gets time, right? But
yeah,
unlikely.
He's one of the best players. Unlikely. Yeah. Cool. And waivers haven't cleared in DPL because, international break, they delayed them. So that's a TBD. Cool. We've basically raced through this half because we did the re-recording and we didn't decide to have a live and discuss our international break and how much we relaxed. So I think that's league updates. We take our halftime pint and we will be back after the break with some questions. So we will see you in a bit. And we are back. Should we use this as an opportunity to talk about how our break went?
Do we have to? I guess, yeah, sure.
You had a life, I had a life. You moved, didn't you?
I swapped apartments from a 2-bedroom to a 3-bedroom. Same compound, so...
Yeah.
Was
it moving upstairs or downstairs?
Up. And better view.
Okay. Better view then?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you already had an amazing view, like...
Yeah.
That's crazy. So which ocean are you overlooking right now?
None, it's more like the mountains now.
Ah, okay. So flex, but different flex.
Yeah,
nice,
exactly.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. You've got an exam coming up on Wednesday. What's that about, by the way?
Just yet another actuarial exam. Don't know. Really should
Right.
just focus and get these things over with, but whatever. Doesn't help that work sent me to Panama last week.
Yeah.
Got back this morning, really. But that was pretty much my international break. What about you?
Yeah. Just spent time with my sister, brother-in-law, and my nephew. I got a lot of nephew time. A lot of baby pictures. Still haven't learned how to change a nappy. That's still on the agenda. But
Your
yeah,
agenda or your
I-
sister's agenda?
Oh, sister's agenda, 100%. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it was nice just to be with family, just disconnect completely. Like, I know we try to do some extra content during the international break and stuff like that, but genuinely, it's just. I was telling my brother-in-law today, or yesterday or something like that. It's like regular fantasy managers hate international breaks. Content creators like ourselves love it. Because it does take a lot out of our schedule and a lot of energy and time and this and that, right? It's so I've honestly completely disconnected, and it's nice not to have waivers running as well until like late into next week, not having to think about anything. Like I've not even watched any international football, not watched any cricket. I've literally just been with family or like I've been at work, so it's been good. Yeah, can't complain.
Nice.
We tell people all the time, right? Enjoy your break, man. There's bigger things than football or fantasy. I mean, if we have to, touch on a bit of a morbid point, I guess shout out to all our Sheffield United fans, listeners, even our reps. The absolutely heartbreaking news of George Baldock passing away at the young age of 31. Yeah, man, that for some reason it hit home, right? Even with our Inside Tracks rep, James, that we had, I think it was last season or something. He sent me a picture of, his kid and Baldock sitting together. Like, that is the player that his kids kind of grew up adoring and watching and is on the back of their shirts. And you realize, like, this game that we play, it's so dumb. Like people get worked up about losses or bad choices and this and that, and yeah, it's a reminder that like be with your loved ones, man, because life is so fucking short, right? Truly try to appreciate everything outside of this. I think really you need to look at this game as the way it kind of connects so many of us across the world, right? Look at the amount of friends that we've kind of made in our Discord alone, right? Now we're over 200 people in there. Like it's crazy how much we've grown and how many people we've met and the culture sharing, and yeah, it's beautiful to see. But yeah, it was really heartbreaking to see that pop up during the international break. And then Greece getting their first ever win, I think, against England. It was so fitting that happened as well. So yeah, international break has been good and a little sad. So yeah.
So you mentioned the relationships, the friends you've built and made along the way. I know you guys have a meetup planned for tomorrow.
Yeah. Robbie, a team of Karas, is going to be there. A Liverpool Inside Tracks rep. Jacob, our Southampton Inside Tracks rep. 2 of our mods as well, Andrew and Draft Pie. Andrew and his wife will actually be there because I think they're doing a bit of a Euro trip at the moment.
Oh, nice.
I think they're in Paris or France. If we timestamp this, we're recording Sunday evening. So yeah, I think it's like 6 of us. We're going for some Sri Lankan food. It should be good. Again, it's always strange that you talk to these people for like weeks and months, right? Never having met them, and then you tell people, "Oh yeah, I'm going for dinner with these random strangers I met off the internet."
It is strange, right? And people still kind of watch me weird when I say things like that, and
yeah,
they don't realize that like you get to meet them, and it's as if you already know them. It's like
yeah. It's the same way like meeting like the boys like Aiden and stuff from our FPL group, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure when you finally come up and meet them, like it's going to be like like any day,
Correct, basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really good, man. All right, so we've got some questions, so let's jump straight into those. All right, first question is from 32 Chickens. During the international break, what do you suddenly remember you like doing with your family / loved ones? I'm talking about something here that you don't do because of game weeks.
Right, so...
Ryan, I think I know your answer. I think I know yours.
What is it? I want to hear.
Paddleboarding.
Yeah, it is.
I love the pictures that you take and you post, man. It's so beautiful, honestly. It's so good. Did you manage to do anything? I know you were moving and all that, but...
No, I haven't been out on the water probably since like July.
Yeah.
It's a shame I live on an island and saying this. People would be
yeah
rather annoyed.
I think next time I come visit, I might actually ask you if we can go.
Yeah. That's easy. Very easy to do.
Yeah. I think for me it really is just playing board games, going for like a Sunday roast, I don't know, just spending time with the newborn, like stuff like that. Like I don't get to do that on a regular basis, just because work is so busy during the week, and then content creation, we talked about that, it takes up a lot of your time and stuff like that. And then
I get that.
Like during the game week as well, like on a Saturday when you've got 3 to 4 different time zones of matches, you watch a lot, we talk a lot and stuff like that. It's a little exhausting as well. And sometimes I kind of just want to do things on my own or be by myself in that sense. So again, it's harder to have energy for people as well after that. But yeah, I think we just try and do some fun stuff, or like go on trips as well, right? Some, town around London that's like a short drive away, rent an Airbnb, that sort of stuff. So yeah. I don't know what else there is. You want to take the next one?
Sure. Next one's from Andrew. It's a kind of a 3-part question. So if you had to have dinner with any 3 people, could be anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Well, let's answer them one at a time, yeah?
Yeah. 3 people, it's too many, man.
3. Like, can we just do one?
Yeah, let's just do one.
Okay. Who is your one?
So I used to want to be able to say Zidane and actually understand French, I guess, or
yeah,
his English be really, really damn good.
Yeah,
I'm not against that. I guess it's just he's no longer playing, so it's more. That was when I was in awe of his football, and really like when he headbutted and all the madness that goes along with it.
Yeah,
I don't know who it'd be now.
Like a present living person.
Or dead, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people would just say some kind of family member, some kind of person they aspire, looked up to.
I didn't even think of a family member. Is that bad?
I don't know, man. It's an interesting one.
For some reason, the first name that came to my mind was Albert Einstein.
Okay, fair.
Because like I work in like a science tech environment. I feel like, I don't know, it would be interesting to pick someone's brain like that. Like,
would be. maybe my best friend from primary school who I haven't seen in like 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Just to catch up and like, what are you doing with your life?
Oh, such a sweet answer from you. I would have never expected that. I'm wondering, like, are there any big... I guess, like, that's more, like, science-y sort of thing. I think, like, if I had to go sports, I'd probably go Brian Lara, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
I get it.
Because as a Trinidadian, he has to be the biggest sports personality we've ever had. Or would you consider Dwight bigger than?
No,
Brian?
I think Lara's still bigger. But they're close, first and second for sure.
Yeah. Cool. His other question was, what's the weirdest thing you've Googled in the past month?
I genuinely don't know.
I did Google something really, really weird. It was something that was posted in our Discord. Something that Nauru said. What was it? Fiddlesticks. That's what it was. So it's because you're not active in our Discord, right? Because I read literally every message that goes through.
Right.
Just because, like, there's certain instances where... Listen, we try to maintain a particular environment and a particular standard in our Discord. And it's a bit PG-13, right? We don't try to make it too crass. I like having a friendly family environment in that sense.
Yep.
So I kind of maintain it, like, the level of security in the sense that if I see someone stepping out of line, like, I'm going to call them out on this shit and let them know, hey, there's a free service. Don't fuck around. It's like that fuck around and find out graph. Like, it's like the hot crazy scale, you know? So, yeah, somebody, I think our waivers had cleared in Super League by accident. So it had to be reversed and all that sort of stuff, right? So I saw who people were bidding on, etc., etc. Nauru exclaimed or said fiddlesticks. Do you know what it means, by the way?
Like, annoyance phrase, like just...
Yeah,
shit.
Basically
right? a tame shit.
So it's used to express disagreement or to say that something is nonsense.
Fair enough.
Yeah. What about you? Have you Googled anything weird?
So I did Google something this morning because in Panama I bought 2 pairs of new football cleats, boots, tugs, whatever
really?
you call
In
it.
Panama?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
They had, it was typical stores. Like I went to the Adidas store, picked up a pair. I went to the Puma store, picked up a pair, whatever. But there's supposed to be good shopping in Panama. I just didn't have that much free time.
Mm-hmm.
But I also got a football, the FIFA Pro quality footballs, the really good ones. But to bring it home, I had to deflate it. So I bring it home. I re-inflated hair, but there are creases in it, right? I've seen this several times.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I wonder if people have a way to like immediately uncrease their footballs. So I Googled that. Like, I traveled, I deflated my football, it came up with creases. Like, is there a quick fix? And it's just a bunch of people complaining, like, yeah, the bladders in the better balls, they take creases in and sometimes they just don't go away. It doesn't really affect the play too much, or sometimes it goes away after a few days when you have it fully inflated. I don't know. Waiting to see, but yeah, that was just a random one.
Very interesting. Okay. By the way, you talked about buying football shoes. I had this weird realization. I don't know if it's with you, and maybe it's with other listeners in our Discord. But I feel like athletic wear or athletic shoes, let's stick to shoes. I feel like I own more football or sports-related shoes than I do actual regular people's shoes.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. 3 running shoes, 3 football shoes.
It's great.
Regular person shoes, probably, and 2 hiking shoes, and like regular person shoes, 3-4 pairs tops, and that's 2 dress shoes for work included in there.
Yeah. There you go. Nice. Do you want to take Andrew's last question?
Okay, sure. It's if you were a professional wrestler, what would your intro song be? We're stumped. I'm stumped.
Yeah, I'm stumped. I don't. Also, like, I'm not a big wrestling person.
Neither me.
So I would just. Do we just pick, like, songs from our own culture? Just, like, some random soca song?
Yeah, could do. Even that has me, like, stumped.
Stumped. I think what we should do is maybe by the end of the week or before the game week starts, we can post it in our Banter Beats channel in our Discord where we share music basically amongst all our listeners and fans. I mean, they share with us absolute bangers, but yeah, I think we'll pick our songs and we post it in there. So if you want to answer, join the Discord.
Nice.
Okay, so next question is from KP Magnet. His question is, if Salah and Saka had a child, would it be classified as a midfielder or a forward?
A goalkeeper. He has to be a forward, right? Like,
Salah's a forward.
Yeah,
Saka's a mid in the game now?
Yeah.
Oh, but then you get a flex position, surely.
No, I think it's going to be also now forward. Like, he's going to be a right.
They really should be both forwards.
They
right?
should.
So
I mean, they played it. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go forwards. All right. Do you want to take the next question?
So from Frantrax Fox, it's are there more Traores, Diarras, or Dembeles? And then name as many as you can.
So I didn't know if to consider this like of all time in our existence or like the current season sort of thing.
Okay. My guess is all time, like past footballers.
Yeah. So I'm gonna treat this as current season. And I'm gonna get you to guess because I'm gonna search the names from the current season in Fantrax.
Oh no!
How many Traores do you think there are?
I want to say like 4.
There are 3.
Okay. Is Bertrand still there? Bertrand has to still be there.
No, Bertrand's not here anymore.
He's gone. He's off. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's Adama.
So there's one from Fulham. Yeah, exactly. There's one from Bournemouth still in the game.
Oh gosh, Hamid Traore.
Yeah, well done. There's one from Wolves.
Is it a B?
Yeah. This was back when Lopetegui was there, and he used to call him Booba.
Right, Boubacar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. I don't know if there's any Diarras. No, there's no Diarras from okay, but if you had to name a couple of Diarras, who comes to mind immediately? Like, it doesn't have to be EPL.
Lasana.
Yeah, exactly, right? That to me is the most classic one.
That's probably the only one I can remember.
But when I think of Lasana, for some reason I think of Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Right? Did he play in the EPL? He played for Chelsea and Arsenal, I think. Possibly.
Probably Chelsea,
and maybe Portsmouth. Yeah. I think he had a few stints here and there, all over the place. But for me, like, I think it clicks Real Madrid because I think he made the most appearances for them of all his clubs. So, and the Dembeles. How many do you think we have in the league?
None.
Yeah, you're correct. But if you had to think of a Dembele, who do you think of?
So Usman's the obvious, right? Because he's
but he's
relevant.
shit though.
Yeah, true. I mean, great on both feet, but not so great.
But still shit. Yeah.
Decision making. I don't know what it is keeps him back. I don't know. He's still a great player.
Yeah.
But shit.
Yeah. He's quick. That's it.
I always found it crazy that there were 2 Musa Dembeles floating around at the same time. And it was like, Musa Dembele just scored for this club. And it's like, is that this one who is just at Spurs? And it's not. And then like Musa Dembele does this for a different club. And I'm like, is this which one is this now? And it's like, oh, it's also not the Spurs one. And then I finally find the Spurs one. And it's like, okay. That just used to confuse the shit out of me.
Yeah. However, the Spurs one, what a fucking baller he was, man.
Yeah, he was class.
It was such a shame that he played for Spurs.
Was he around in the days of what was the platform before Fantrax?
Toga. Toga.
Was he around in Toga days?
Yeah, I think he was. Right?
He strikes me as he would have been great at this game.
Yeah. I'm sure there must be some sort of archive where you can pull up his points somewhere. Somebody must have it somewhere.
But yeah, in terms of Traorés though, there are so many Traorés out there if I recall correctly.
Like other than the ones we mentioned.
Yeah, tons come to mind.
Who else comes to mind for you?
Bertrand. I feel like there were a few with A.
Yeah, so there were a few like Armand Traoré, I think.
Wasn't there like a Czech Traoré, Mohamedou Traoré? I'm just throwing out names, but I'm sure these are like...
No, that's Cheikh Tiote you're thinking of.
Oh, yeah.
Newcastle. Yeah. There's like a Lucina Traoré, there's a Jimmy Traoré. Yeah, there's way more Traorés, definitely. 100%. Yeah, cool. So I think the Traorés would be the most. But anyways, we named as many.
There's Ibrahim
Traoré.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Isn't he like one of the brothers? Anyway, whatever.
Yeah. This is gonna be an entire pod of just Traorés. True. Okay, let's go to our next question. From Draft Espresso, Mitoma and Rutter combined 40 points, swung a game for me in the last 45 minutes of a game week. Fantastic. Only in doing so, they defeated the team that I support in real life. Agonizing. I don't believe we have a term for this phenomenon, having an asset in fantasy who is facing the team you support. So please give a name to it so we can add it to the glossary alongside steady eddies and flat track bullies.
Okay, so let's see. You have anything good?
What would we call this? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. Like, what's the phenomenon that comes to mind? Because you own them, but so like, are they like backstabbing in a sense?
I guess. And I for me, it's difficult because I don't support any Prem team, so it's like I don't have the torn feel of that. But there are several situations where there are things that are win-wins, right? When your assets from your team are doing well.
Yeah.
And they help you to win your Fantrax game. Is this a win-lose?
Yeah.
And is that just like a lose-win?
So it's like a double-edged sword. It's a paradoxical situation. So do we just go paradoxical players?
Could do. I feel like there's going to be something better at some point.
Probably, yeah. It's because I literally went double-edged sword synonyms.
Fair enough.
Or maybe there's a different word for players. Like I don't know. We'll have to come up with one. And if we do come up with one, chances are it might end up being a channel in our Discord.
It will. It will.
But it's an interesting one to think of. I mean, you don't really support an EPL team, right? So you don't really have that dilemma in that sense.
No, yeah, I don't.
Right? But I'm just thinking like who would have come up against Chelsea and like that I own that hurt. I can't think of one. Like, I'm just trying to think of like our previous opponents. Benching Milenkovic versus Chelsea. I mean, we spoke about it in the data dump.
True.
Or the league updates or whatever.
True.
So I guess that would kind of count in a sense, right? Because he potentially could have won me that lifestyle league matchup that I benched him in. So
yeah, I would say so. The best I can come up with right now is like happy, like melancholy but happy. It's not quite there, you know, whatever.
It's a work in progress. Let's put it that way.
And it kind of plays on Milenkovic. Anyway, but...
fair enough. I see where you're going with that. It's got promise. All right, let's take from our next question from one of our new Discord members with it's a great name, by the way.
A great name. So it's from Dingus Amingus. He's asking, it's halftime pint. What are we drinking? I know we've answered this in the past, but I guess it changes depending on how busy us and when we're recording. We rarely ever record.
If you had to have an alcoholic beverage, what would you have?
It would be beer.
Yeah.
For something like this. If it's like a social thing where I don't want to get bloated. Probably gin.
Okay, nice. I probably do maybe some scotch.
Yeah.
Something neat,
Got it.
Yeah. And if it was a morning time, I guess we'd probably just do tea or coffee. I mean, I've done coffee for one of the recordings, so.
You mean no shots of punchin'?
like our listeners know what punchin' is.
Yeah.
Just you wait. So his other question was, you are manager of Southampton. How do you beat Leicester?
I'm telling you, Archer's gonna do it, man. Just play Archer.
Or you play Ben Brereton Diaz, Archer, and Stewart. I'm sorry, not Stewart. Adam Armstrong.
Just play them all. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. And then Tyler Dibbling behind them,
Of course.
It'll be fine. Or play Sugawara up front. I'll be okay with that as well.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I know, right? All right. Next question comes from one of our mods, Mr. Nauru. What is the most difficult human endeavor that has not been done but you think is possible?
Right, and this is the one that someone replied, winning a Fantrax 38-0.
I mean, I'm a fifth of the way there, kind of, so.
Yeah. What is it? I don't know. This is not that, typically Nauru would ask, a philosophical one. This one actually just feels like he's searching for something that's been done before, but... Okay,
yeah, I'm wondering.
I'll throw out a really messed up one, I'm sorry. But, having 25 kids, I'm sure some woman out there has had 25 kids.
Wow. I don't even know how to follow that one up. Genuinely. Most difficult? I genuinely can't think of can we give me a category? Food, sports? I don't know.
Sorry, I need to enlighten what I just Googled. Because I was going to throw out 30, and I felt that was too long.
Yeah.
Because that means, probably 9 months apart, 30 times. Anyway, the winner has a woman who is known for birthing 44 children, 38 of whom are still alive. Nicknamed Mother Uganda. Miriam.
Jesus
something
Christ.
From Uganda.
I wonder how many of those were twins, triplets, quadruplets, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. It's
I
not.
suspect that's what that is, right?
6 sets.
Okay, so then...
it has to break down. 3 sets of quintuplets. Oh, quadruplets, sorry.
Yeah.
4 sets of triplets. 6 sets of twins. And a total of 15 birds.
That's crazy.
Right? The number of multiple births were caused by a rare genetic condition called hyperovulation. Wow.
You learn something new every day, bro. Even on our podcast. I think let's just go with that, the birthing one. So we'll go 50 children. Where's the bar? Okay, so let's why don't you take Pi's question?
Okay, so Pi sent us basically a mini quiz again.
Oh yeah, I gotta find my question for you.
Yeah, I have mine for you. I think yours is up first, though. I think I got Q2 and Q4.
Okay, so let me pull up what Pi sent me. So Q1 for you. Which goalkeeper has the highest individual game week score so far?
So I assumed it would be this, and I didn't look it up, just to keep it live. I assume it's one of those pen savers who got a clean sheet, so I'm going to draw out Sanchez.
Dead fucking right. Good job, buddy. 28.25 points in game week 4 versus Bournemouth.
Nice. So So, okay, Q2 is which defender has the highest individual game week score so far?
Ooh.
This has to be the hardest of the bunch.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Because my mind, like, I'm thinking two players that immediately come to mind is Pedro Porro and Gabriel Magalhaes.
Mm-hmm.
But then I want to scrap that and go to Nathan Collins in that Wolves game because he got a goal, he got an assist, and he got ghost points.
That's a great shout. But it's not.
Put me out of my misery. Who is it?
So Collins actually only got... he didn't get a clean sheet in that game, did he?
No, he didn't.
So he got a goal and assist and only got 15.25 points. Justin, I also think remembering him getting a brace, but I don't think he did that well.
Yeah.
This player got 30.75. So you got the club right. He's the same club as Porro. Got the player wrong.
Oh, was it Romero or Van de Ven? One of the centre backs.
It was Romero in game week 2 versus Everton. Because I think he scored and then they smashed it, right? Like,
yeah. Was that like the 4-0, 5-0?
4-0 or something.
They went off. Yeah. Yeah, he's been ghosting really well this season so far. I mean, he usually does in like time to time, but yeah, I completely forgot about that. Interesting. All right, Q3 for you.
I need to like stop looking at the Ghost League. The Ghost League is just throwing me off. How much did Collins actually get? Collins definitely
he got like
20 something, right?
14, 15 ghost points.
28.25.
Yeah, he did really well.
He got 28.2. So it's 2 points short, basically.
Yeah.
That's why it was such a
so
good
it was a good guess.
Yeah, so good shot.
Yeah. Q3 for you. So I think it's basically like a similar sort of theme, right?
Yeah.
Which midfielder has the highest individual game week score so far?
So it has to be Palmer's
I
for
think
goal.
this one is obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily Palmer. Yeah. 56.5 in game week 6 versus Brighton. Bonus question, who has the second who's second place?
This one is...
It should be easy as well.
It should be.
I'll give you an easy clue if you want.
I'm going to go with Dwight McNeil then.
No. Same club as Palmer?
Is it Madueke's hat-trick? I didn't think so.
Yeah, it is.
I thought he didn't ghost that well in that game. Okay.
Yeah.
How much
hat-trick does that for you.
How much is that one? That was a 40 pointer.
He didn't mention. Yeah, I suspect it's a 40 pointer or something like that.
Okay. I thought it was like a 36 pointer, and I was going to say Saka outscored that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so I mean,
and
final question.
Question 4.
Obvious.
Yeah.
Which forward has the highest individual score?
This should be an obvious one, shouldn't it be?
Yeah, because you just said what earns you it.
What earns me it? What do you mean?
Like you said it for Madueke. What earned him the haul?
Oh, like a hat trick.
There you go.
Who's got a hat trick so far? Why am I blanking? I keep thinking Salah. No, it has to be Holland. What am I saying?
There you go.
Fucking hell.
Holland
Like-
is number 1 with 38.5. So, bonus question is, who's second place with 37.5?
Is it not Holland again?
It is Holland again.
I mean, that happens when you score like 3 hat tricks this season.
Right.
Like, it's fucking ridiculous, bro.
And then the last bonus question is, who's third place?
Come on, Holland again.
No, it's not Holland again. Because he only got 2 hat tricks.
Wow. Okay.
You mentioned him very
Right.
early today on the pod.
I mentioned him very early on the pod. It's not Nico Jackson.
Nope. He's Jamaican.
Kai Havertz. He's Jamaican. Antonio.
Yo.
What a ledge, bro. What a ledge. Great stuff. Thank you so much for those questions, Pai. Honestly, anytime you want to send us quiz questions, do it. We love it. And it's all Fantrax related, so it's even better.
Yeah.
Makes our pod even better, right? Okay, so we've got two final questions to touch on. Draft Tash sent them in, so I'll take the first one. Who is the only team in all of the UEFA coefficient to have 100% record in all games this season? I don't think he sent us the answer, by the way.
No, he didn't, and I actually don't know the answer. I know Bayern lost to Villa, so
right.
It's not Bayern. I'm just gonna assume it's not PSG, and I'm gonna assume it's not Barca.
Yeah.
It's not City. Is it City?
Well,
No.
I don't know where do I look this up? Like,
I have no clue. I guess unbeaten European team right now, and
yeah, I don't know how do I search this up? Do I just do for this season? Like, do I go on the UEFA rankings? Because it looks like it's like Liverpool has the most points.
Yeah, but
didn't
they lost to
Forest?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like,
So
I don't know how this works.
So I'm pretty sure it's not a Prem team because I don't think any Prem team has gone unbeaten.
Yeah. I don't know. Tash, you're going to have to send us the answer, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. And do you want to take his final question?
Sure. Final question is, which player is your hidden gem so far this season?
Hidden gem. Damsgaard?
I was going to say Damsgaard.
I love us.
I thought for you it was going to be Njai.
Yeah, I go Njai. But for me, I think Damsgaard has that. It's because we've tried for him for the past few seasons. It's not worked out. And we're finally fucking here. Like, let's go.
True. Great point.
Because there would have been a lot of doubt around him as well, right? Just because he's not done it yet. So, yeah. Cool. I'm happy with that. Okay, those are the questions. And I think now we'll move into our final segment, which is the FA/waiver picks.
Cool.
Okay. So let's try to run through these as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
We're gonna start with goalkeepers. I assume a lot of these rostership percentages should still be somewhat similar because only IGL would have ran, right? And I'm assuming people have a life and they would have delayed their waivers. So
Right.
Cool. Where do you want to start with keepers, or like who do you want to talk about? We don't have to talk about everyone.
I want to start with Kelleher.
Yeah, I mean, good team, good defense, easy pick. All right.
Exactly. I mean, you mentioned it earlier. The fixtures are tougher, but I'm okay with that.
Would you be dropping a Hermansen to get Kelleher, though?
I personally would, yes. But I guess that's me chasing upside.
Yeah. And I mean, past few episodes, we did talk about you chasing upside a bit too much, right? And it burning you, so...
Yeah, it does. It has. Like it did with Borges.
Yeah. So I think for me, I would probably stick with Hermansen instead of chasing the Kelleher upside.
That's fair. Completely fair.
Right? It's like one of those set and forget Pope options, right? If he's scoring me points, why am I going to go chase the shinier toy that is only going to last 2 to 3 game weeks? Whereas if you had, like, let's say a Ramsdale or a Muric, then I think I'd be way more tempted.
Right, okay. I guess it's also because I have Kepa, and Kepa's up against Arsenal, so...
I love that, though. I think that's lots of save points.
He's not been doing great recently. That's my only issue.
Yeah, but, I mean, his last couple of fixtures, he had Leicester. Like, the Leicester one is like, I'm not really expecting a lot from him, and he didn't keep the clean sheet, sure. You go back before that, it's Southampton again.
Same thing.
He's playing a worse team, so I'm not expecting much. And I think before that, it was Liverpool. Didn't he score lots in that? Or he got like 10 or something?
Yeah, he smashed it. Yeah. 15.
Yeah, so the Arsenal one, I think I would just be a bit brave and roll him out and hope that he gets lots of save points again.
Fair?
It was really shocking, though, that Muric got 17 points after conceding 4 goals to West Ham. It was kind of mental.
Yeah, it really was.
Like, yeah. I know Jairus is there for Liverpool, but he only came onto the field because Kelleher wasn't in the squad. But we're expecting, like we mentioned, Kelleher to come back in. How do you feel about Henderson versus Forest? I don't like that at all, personally.
Neither me. Forest are good.
Yeah.
Palace aren't good, but also
yeah.
I don't think like Forest are gonna pepper you enough.
Exactly. Agreed. Yeah. Forest doesn't strike me as a team that shoots that much. And if they do, they're kind of clinical. Like, Wood has been pretty fucking good up front, so...
Yep.
I think I feel the same way about Cells versus Palace. It's just like, Palace are shit, so I don't want to, play an asset that's not going to face a lot of shots in that sense. Like, they're still figuring out their attack.
True.
Ramsdale versus Leicester, similar sort of. It's like, we talked about the Kepa versus Leicester, the Kepa versus Southampton play.
But I mean, he is Southampton, so I do actually think Leicester's going to dominate this one. And he probably would have to be forced into several saves.
Yeah, fair. Okay, yeah, I agree there. Another easy possible risky play, Johnstone versus City. But, I mean, Wolves conceded 5 to Brentford. Like, are they going to concede 6 or 7 to City? Like,
True.
Yeah, okay. I think at the end, do we just pick one each?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay.
So, I know my
defenders.
at the end. My bad.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
So, defenders.
So, I see the list of the Arsenal boys here. I don't think any of them get minutes. So, we move right on.
Is there no fitness issues then, we're thinking?
Not that I'm aware of, unless something pops up on international duty this week.
Okay. Villa, again, do we just move on?
Yeah. I mean, we've all fallen for this trap. Matty Cash is interesting, but don't know.
But look at that score with the clean sheet. It's shocking.
It is horrible.
Yeah,
fine. They don't go as well. Let's move on.
Yeah. No one from Brighton to talk about, I don't think. Yeah. Bournemouth. Anyone?
Not against
No.
Arsenal.
Playing Arsenal, yeah. Sepp van der Berg.
I am interested. I'm not getting him,
same.
But I am interested.
Yeah. I think he would be taken in most active leagues, I think.
agree.
Yeah.
But I really
and
did
the
think...
fixture is decent.
It is decent.
Well.
I really thought he would have dropped out the squad by now.
Same.
So that's why I'm interested all of a sudden. But again, I'm not going there yet.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah, agreed. Wesley Fofana? Chelsea? No? Not interested?
No,
I don't think so. The fixture is tough, right?
Fixture's tough, yeah.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Palace. Chalobah got his debut game, right?
He did.
4.25. It's okay. It's not great. Klein came in for Munoz. By the way, do you know that Klein score actually includes a clean sheet?
Does it really?
The 8.5?
He capped it. Okay. Not a good look.
No, not at all. But the one name that kind of pops out for me was Lacroix.
Yes, and he's been ghosting well for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
He's been gone in, I think, most of my leagues, but if you can still get him.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Do I make the Aina to Lacroix switch if I can make that?
If you could,
we talked about dumping Aina in a previous league.
I would, yeah.
Because it feels now like, unless you're getting one of the fullbacks from one of the premium teams or like an Anthony Robinson, centre-backs are the way to go.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, it just interests me. Like you said, he's been scoring well, and his rostership is like approaching 40%. So it's near difficult to get him anywhere. So, Everton.
Ashley Young, man, can you stop?
So in a league, I think I made a swap from Ashley Young to Michael Keane, because both were free, and I in the back of my head I was like, Young is gonna fuck me up somehow, He's gonna get that 45-minute sub. He's gonna get a red card. Like he's gonna do some wildness. I was like, let me just go Keane, go centre back, go safe. But I think maybe Young keeps his spot. But if Branthwaite is fit, Keane is not an option.
Right, agreed.
So then, are you telling people to stash Mykolenko right now?
We've had this conversation. I don't think he's a stash. I think you can get him as he becomes fit, but I'm not against it. If you have the depth, do it.
I'm just saying, don't wait as long as you did with Inchai.
Fair.
That's
I
my
agree
fair
with
for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Ipswich, do we want to talk anything?
I mean, they conceded 4, so they're up against Everton. I don't think the fixture's as difficult. I mean, we didn't think West Ham was difficult either. But
Yeah.
we know their centre-backs can go as well.
Yeah. I think you're expecting a defender 3 score though. Don't be playing them as your defender 1 or 2.
Agreed.
Yeah. Leicester boys. So after their first clean sheet of the season, I think it was their first win of the season as well. They did well. Like if you punted on the Leicester defense last game week, you made a really good decision. And I think if you stuck with them or held on to them through the international break, I think it's also a great fixture versus Southampton.
Agreed. If you had to rank them.
Do you have a preference?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna ask you. I kind of want to put Christensen first because I think he has the highest ceiling with the set pieces.
Fair. I would.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards Faust. Wout, really, actually.
He has the goal threat. We've seen that.
He has the goal threat, and then he's in the data dump on block shots. He's in the data dump in other categories as well from time to time. I just feel like he's doing the work.
He's dependable.
He's dependable. That's it. That's exactly it.
Yeah. Yeah, fair. Yeah, then I think if I had to agree with you, then let's go Wout first. Christensen second?
Yeah. Exactly.
And then Okoli third. Cool. I had Tsimikas on our list just because it's international break. There's random injuries to players. So like even I think for the Draft Society pod, I couldn't make it last week, but I suggested some picks and I suggested grabbing either Tsimikas or Conor Bradley during the international break.
I like that. We spoke about it. I own Simi in all leagues because I grabbed him when the lineup leaked.
Yeah.
Actually, no, when it came out because he wasn't set in the league. It was RoboStarsing. But
yeah.
I was going to quickly drop again, but then you mentioned, maybe you hold. What if Robo picks up something?
Yeah.
And that's a valid point. I think for an asset like Connor or Simi, they're worth holding because they become basically defender ones as soon as they get that playing time.
Yeah, exactly. Johnny Evans, this rogue ass fucking performance. We're not
a one-off.
It's not real, right?
Yeah.
Fool's gold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
1% owned. If he was a 0,
For a
I'd
reason.
like it more.
I like that. Yeah. Forest defenders. I mean, we spoke about Forest being good defense, right? Milenkovic, I'd be surprised if you got him in a league. Murillo is like your next best thing.
Yeah.
Moreno is over there as well. I think in the order we just listed them is the order you're grabbing them. Probably.
If you had to throw in into there, where's Aina for?
I think between Murillo and Moreno.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. And finally, West Ham boys. Todibo and Emerson.
I'm not going there.
Yeah, same. I think it's just they played Ipswich. They
Yeah.
have a good score. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay. Midfielders.
They had a bit of a minefield this game week. Like players like Barkley got minutes.
Yeah.
It was a lot of random names. Like Curtis Jones got minutes.
Yeah. I didn't bite, and I mean, it's not like he blew the fucking game out the water. Like,
He didn't.
basic 7.5.
Yeah, I took it in a few places though, and I was okay with it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm streaming him as like my mid 4.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I mean, he put up more points than James Ward-Prowse did. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what you do with that James Ward-Prowse spot is you stream players like Curtis Jones. You take that risk.
That's exactly, I think, what I did in the league.
Yeah. Rossi Barks, we're not grabbing unless we see him start in the lineup though.
Correct.
Yeah. Kadioglu. There's still a lot of hype around him. I think there's a lot of promise around his play going forward, but his defensive work, I think, is still under question. It's still a bit suspect.
Yeah, I think he benefits being a mid if Brighton are going to concede. Much like Doughty last season.
Which they will.
They will, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't think I own anywhere, but I wouldn't be against holding and just waiting it out. Maybe he finds some form. Maybe he finds himself. The promise is
I think he has some sort of sell or sale value or something, like trade value or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. He has promise. So, Bournemouth boys, I don't know if I'd be streaming them this game week, but I would be keeping an eye on Ryan Christie moving forward.
Yeah, he's kind of climbing back up there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Brentford boys.
I like them as like a 1 game week, or kind of you need someone off the waiver wire, you need someone last minute kind of punt.
The thing is though, I'd go Schade as my mid 4, but I would go Norgard or Janels as my mid 5.
Yeah,
like I don't think I want to risk anything higher for Norgard or Janels.
I get that.
Yeah.
Their consistency has been demonstrated in the past, so I think that's fair.
Yeah. And it was an easy fixture for them last game week, right? That's why they kind of popped up so well.
Yeah.
Wolves are just allowing everyone to kind of score points in that sense. So
right.
So Everton one is really interesting point of discussion, right? We've got 2 players here that are kind of playing out of position in a sense. James Garner playing right back and Abdoulaye Doucouré playing now a defensive midfield role.
But finding himself back in the points with it.
Yeah, and he made my article actually for this upcoming game week. And there's a lot of doubt in our Discord. People are like, "What? How are you suggesting Doucouré? He's a shit player." And I'm like, "Yeah, but he's getting some ghost points now." And lest we forget, he scored a goal that got ruled out for offside in game week 7 as well, right? So he has a knack for approaching or getting into the box late. We know he has goal threat. Genuinely, like, James Ward-Prowse to Doucouré, would you gamble that?
I would, absolutely. No question.
The fixture run is there as well, right?
Yeah, and the next immediate fixture is the easiest of it, in my opinion.
Exactly. Yeah. So, just food for thought. We talked about Curtis Jones already. I think if he's in a lineup, for me, I'm still a bit of a coin flip guy because he's just like Harvey Elliott for us, I think. Like, he could easily burn us on his day. Like, yeah. Ericsson, any interest there from United?
I was more interested when Bruno had the red card. He still started despite Bruno being able to play, but didn't go too well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ericsson's a strange one to me. But I'm going to pass.
Yeah. Southampton boys, Mateus Fernandes and Tyler Dibling.
Mateus is ghosting well now, eh?
Yeah. Got the assist this game.
I was gonna ask
Easy fixture versus Leicester.
Okay, I forgot.
I think he got the assist, yeah. No, but I mean, still, I think I would punt on him as a mid 5. Like,
yeah.
The fixture is nice. Like, I'm not saying to hold him for the rest of the season, but for this fixture, why not take that gamble?
Agreed.
Finally, we have Bellegarde. I don't know.
I think this guy has to be one of the worst ghosters ever. Like, he's getting returns, basically. And his scores are reflecting bare minimum.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who are players like that. Like Chris Wood. is probably up there.
Vardy is kind of up there, but
Yeah, Vardy's definitely up there. Yeah,
Callum
Saliba as a defender. Callum Wilson. Yeah, there's always these usual suspects, man. Every fucking season. All right, let's go into forwards.
All right, Rutio.
So, how is he so lowly owned? It blows my mind, genuinely.
He was so many splash fab on him. Like when he first came
but
in.
Like I was still in the league, but I was surprised to see his roster percentage. Like, I don't know if it's changed since I last pulled these numbers. Let me see if I quickly Google it. Still 29%. It's crazy.
I own, I think, in one league. I still don't trust the guy, but look at what he did this game week. I didn't play him. I think it might have cost me a win.
Yeah.
But... No, I think I got the win.
Yeah, I mean, he's still coming off early around like the 70th minute mark, but
that's it. That's
he's part of the attack and returns. Like,
yeah.
So I mean, I still like it. Like, he's up against Newcastle. We've talked about Newcastle being fraudulent this season. I feel like Brighton can easily get a goal or two against them.
All right.
Bournemouth, Sinistera, no interest, right?
Off the bench.
It's Arsenal.
Off the bench, sure.
Off the bench. Off the bench league, definitely. Yeah.
No, but agreed. No interest in this gaming.
Not finally. Next name, Keane Lewis Potter. Another interesting name.
I am actually more interested in him than Sade, Norgard, Janelt.
Agreed. But I think I need to see that he's starting in that fullback role.
Yes.
Or that midfield role. Not in that forward wing role or whatever.
Correct. It boosts
and
his
goals. Think he will... Yeah, exactly. It's like, back in the day, Bobby de Cordova-Reid playing that fullback role and he ghosted that one fucking random game.
Yeah.
And I think KLP plays defensively because they've got the likes of Fabio, Sade, Vissa's coming back. So they don't have a fit Rico Henry yet, right? So I think while KLP's playing that OOP role, I think, great shout. It just sucks that he's a forward. Like, I would love if he was a fucking mid. That would be fantastic if he was a mid.
Same.
Yeah.
You mentioned Rico Henry, though. We know he's back on grass and doing things. I also want to throw out Reece, who's supposedly going to start back training or is training. Any interest in grabbing one of those guys and stashing?
I'd probably try for both, I think.
Really? Not completely,
but
like...
I'm not grabbing to depend on them.
Okay.
You said the word stash.
Yes,
right?
yes. It's a stash. It has to be a stash, because...
So let's go back to the James Ward-Prowse conundrum.
Ooh,
I think that's
tricky.
an easy swap.
You do. I think that's tricky.
Because you would prefer playing player.
Yeah. I guess it's just every time I own Reece somewhere in a Fantrax, he gives me like 2 game weeks max, doesn't do well, and then it's gone again.
And then breaks.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. If I had to pick one of them, my heart is going to get in the way, so I'd probably go Reece.
Yeah, I would still go Reece. It's like, he's a better player.
Yeah.
If he manages to stay fit, creates asset, right?
Yeah, exactly that. Okay, Ismail Assar got his first start for Palace versus Liverpool in game week 7. Nearly got an assist, by the way. That goal got ruled out for offside, right? For the one that Eddie Nketiah had put in, right? So
yeah.
But I mean, still ended up doing shit. How are you feeling about him?
If he gets a few more starts on his belt, I'm back on board. But I don't know if I'll have the benefits of time to wait and see.
Agreed. I think it's too risky. No.
Agreed.
I need a bit more history. Yeah.
And he's not ghosting well, so... Well, he is off the bench, not when he starts.
Yeah, exactly. He's like Sinistera, basically.
Yeah.
Reece Nelson, I think we gotta wait until he actually gets points or gets starts, sorry. He's getting points off the bench, right? Honestly, bench league, great.
Yeah.
Jack Clark from Ipswich, we talked about him a few episodes ago. I think I'm still happy to keep him as a forward 4.
I think the fixtures are great for Ipswich right now, so yeah, why not?
Yeah. Like, if Everton aren't starting Branthwaite, I think I'd run the risk of starting him because my other forward, like my forward 3, Strand Larson, has City. So
Agreed.
You go Jack Clark,
Yeah,
right?
I agreed.
Yeah. Jota Silva from Forest. Again, he's not starting. We don't look at him.
Yeah.
Cameron Archer versus Leicester after he scored his first goal for the season versus Arsenal. Any interest?
I genuinely do. I'm not going to do it for a 1 game week punt, but I genuinely think he's going to do well.
I mean, what if he gets a pen again?
That's exactly where it could come from easily.
Yeah. There's a bit of interest there. I'm not going to lie. Especially if your forward 3s have tough fixtures this game week. Like I mentioned, the likes of Strand Larson, etc. So
yeah. Or even Antonio coming up. He's against Spurs, so you don't want that. But
what? Spurs are easy fixture, bro.
Yeah, you're not like. I mean, it's Antonio too. He doesn't ghost.
No,
right?
but he's not ghosting. Yeah, exactly. He's not ghosting. So I get that. Yeah, I'm just wondering like who else has like a semi tough fixture or you probably still roll out Nico Jackson easily versus Liverpool, right?
Yeah. Evan Nielsen.
Evan Nielsen versus Arsenal. Yeah, so Archer or Evan Nielsen. That's a great coin flip decision. I'd probably go Archer.
I think so too.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Michael Antonio, freak score 0 ghost points.
Yep.
Right? Are you going there? Would you risk starting him at all?
I'm not. I thought about it, but no, can't do it to myself.
Yeah, same. And then finally, the Wolves boys. Guedes, I think, was an off-the-bench score, and your boy Borges. I doubt we're rolling them out versus City, so...
Agreed.
Cool. 1 each?
Let's
and
do
then
it.
Let's wrap up this pod.
Goalkeepers? I'm still going to pitch Kelleher. I've been preaching him. Why not back it up?
Yeah, I'll go Kepa versus Arsenal.
Nice. Defenders. Haha. This one's tough. The easy one would
I've
be
got
Lacroix
2 names in mind, so... Yeah, that was one of them.
He's easy. I don't think you're going to get him in a active league, so I'm going to throw out next best in that same defense, though. Because I feel like Trevor has a bit of ghost potential to him.
Agreed. Yeah. I like that pick. I'll go Okoli. I'll also go low ownership from a decent fixture.
Yeah.
Midfield?
30.
Nice. I'll go Abdoulaye Doucouré.
Very nice.
And finally, forwards.
Cameron Archer, yo.
By the way, we totally glossed over Timo.
Yeah. I have him highlighted here. I don't think he starts, right? Because he was only in because Son was out.
I assume Son's back.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Okay. Cameron Archer is such a good pick, bro. I'll go KLP.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. Cool. Those are your picks, and that is the pod. Long one in the books. We haven't done one of these in a while. But yeah, that's it. Any final words before we sign off? Oh, we should plug Bash League.
Oh, true.
So there's this 5-a-side league that we run every season. I think it's our 3rd season or 4th season running now.
Yeah.
It's basically you've got 5 starters, 3 bench spots, 1 IR spot, no goalkeepers, 24 managers. There's a league table. You play each manager once, and then it ends in a playoff. Top 8 gets a bye. The rest go into a knockout phase thing.
Yeah.
That forms the round of 16 and then quarterfinals, semifinals, I think we do prizes for league and knockouts. I've not forgotten our winners from last season. We still have to send it out. That's the only issue. But It's free to join. No buy-in fee, no none of that. How do you join? Join the Discord. See? Plug for the Discord. It works out. Okay. Now, final words. Anything you want to say before we sign off, bro?
Not much. I guess it's been a while. And this one was so nice we did it twice.
Exactly. Cool. That's it. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of your international break. Don't stress too much. And if you need advice, again, I'll plug the Discord. Come say hi. To me, not to Ryan, because Ryan doesn't know what the fuck goes on there. So
true that. All right.
You're busy, bro. I'm just giving you shit. Anyways, guys, we'll catch you on the next episode. Until next time, bro. Peace.